Ashish, welcome to Trailblazers.
Hi.
We're delighted to have you. Now, let's get the ball rolling with this provocative idea. There are many, many studies out there that will show that the exponential increase in mental health issues amongst teenagers around the world is directly correlated with the rise of social media. What do you say to that?
Well, it's not the first evil that a society has seen, right? There have been many in the past, and as we evolve and newer sort of technologies come in play, and channels like social media come in play, I guess we as a society adapt to it, right? We evolve, we figure out how to make more sense out of it, how to control it better, right? And we have heard of smoking, liquor, television, couch potatoes. Stories have been there across generations, right?
So it's neither good nor bad in your view. It's just it is what it is, right?
It is what it is, and it is about how we adapt to it. How do we ensure there's a balance? Because it does have good sides to it, right? And today, if you look at a lot of the younger population, the teenagers, as you call, they're getting access to a lot more information. The amount of knowledge that this platform can provide is also humongous, right? So it's just about using it in the right way for all of us to benefit from it.
Right, so you're slightly where the kind of National Rifle Association of America is, in the sense that it's not the gun, it's the person using the gun.
Yes,
okay,
very much.
Fair enough. But you and I guess, are of a particular vintage where, we existed and worked in the pre-digital age, and then social media came along. Was it hard for you personally to get your head around it, Ashish?
Initially, yes, and yeah, it did take me time to get around it, as an individual, as a marketing person as well.
Yeah. And Nikhil, we'll have you in a minute here, but you're a pure digital native who's grown up. I mean, in your working life, digital's always been around. Do you think fundamentally that it's harder for millennials and baby boomers to get their heads around this, or is it a language you can acquire?
No, I think it's a language you can acquire. Obviously, it's with any technology, you have to put that additional effort. For example, my father, after initial hiatus, is now on all the social media platforms because he has also realized that there is a certain use case or need for him to do it. Obviously, he's not as well-versed as a digital native, but he has figured out his own way of managing that old platform.
It's a tool. I must start following your father. I might get an extra follower to my very few followers. But Ashish, okay, so it is what it is. There's some adjustment to it, but you're helming marketing at a huge financial services business, HDFC Bank. They're not natural bedfellows when you think about it. When I open my Instagram, I'm not that interested in banks. So how do you put the two together, or do you?
We do, and like I said, it took time for us to adapt. It's not only about reaching out to the audience, but reaching it out to them in a relevant way, right? And there's a lot of data available in the digital space. And over a point of time, we have realized that different channels have different roles that they can play for you as a brand. So money is complex, right? Managing money is complex. And the social media allows us to create a lot of...
And where are you winning? Which channel? What works for you?
So all of them work for me, right? When used in the right context. For example, and I was coming to the point that be it YouTube or be it Insta, a lot of informative content works for us. We have seen from data that if you do a product pitch on a platform like Facebook, that works for you, right? So there's different sort of objectives that we set in terms of what they will do for the brand. You look at moment marketing. You look at us making comments on particular events that happen because everybody is talking about it, and we as brands also have a point of view which we would like to put through, but we are very clear that we will not react and respond to everything that happens there. We've identified 4 to 5 pillars that we need to add to our brand as attributes, and then events and moments related to that is where we will be present on social media and talk about it. You
have to be quite disciplined, don't you? I mean, I saw my social media head yesterday basically recreating a scene from Animal, right? Lots of people are doing it. I had it immediately taken down because it really didn't fit with however popular it didn't fit. So you have to be quite disciplined on this. But talk about how those pillars and values inform, what other brands you associate with or events. Give us examples of the right things. Is it sport? Is it?
Yeah. So yeah, it is. If I say that I am a large Indian brand, which today is the 7th largest in the world, there's a matter of pride, right? And the very heritage and the trust and the reputation that we've created as a brand says that anything which makes an Indian proud about being an Indian is something I will associate with, right? So that's one way of looking at it. The other piece is wherever there is anything to do with money and there is complexity, I step in and try to make it simple, right? So simplicity, patriotism, the pride of being an Indian is some of the things that we will connect with, right?
Well, I think that's fascinating, and a lot of our guests, and we'll talk to Nikhil and G2 on behalf of his clients. Let's tell you that nationalism, let's say with a small n, is an important component. But I want to talk a bit about this, so how you navigate complexity. You've got your auntie, don't you? Your auntie avatar who helps navigate.
Yeah. So that's a very interesting story, and what plagues the financial services world, and specifically after the digital piece has kicked in, is a lot of people are susceptible to frauds, right? And we said there is a duty that we have in terms of creating awareness, educating consumers, and ensuring that they don't get defrauded, right? So we've created our own very social media influencer by the name Vigilante, and the role that she plays is informs consumers about all the new types of fraud that are coming in, the MO of these frauds as to what will fraudsters typically do with you to sort of hook you and cheat.
Okay, but just to push back slightly on this, Vigilante, great name, but Vigilante's not real. Why do I believe someone that's not real?
So when you say she's not real, she's a character, she's a human, right? She is someone who's from the media, right? But it is what we create around her which creates that credibility. So there are two aspects to it. One, it is brought to you by HDFC Bank, which in itself is a trusted and credible name in the industry, in the financial services space. And then the way we have created content over a period of time gives a lot of confidence, right?
I see. So
in
it's
the character.
It's kind of the author's important in the sense that if Jasper creates Daffy Duck, no one buys it. If it's Disney's Daffy Donald Duck, people are buying it. Okay, so we've got a sense of the values and this real thing, right, that no amount of social media helps you unless you actually are a trusted brand. But talk to us a bit, Ashish, about the kind of yin and yang of physical and digital and how you play that game, because I still go into banks.
Yeah. There's a funny term which everyone uses very often nowadays called phygital, right? And
sounds like an itch or something.
Yeah. But nowadays, if you see, for us, I think it's about how digital can play a role in making the physical interactions of the consumers with the bank smoother and easier, right? So it's about, funnily, a lot of people prefer a bank because of their physical presence. And you ask them, why did they open an account with the bank? The branch was right next to my home, or it was right next to my office. After that, how many consumers actually end up visiting a branch is very limited, right? Today, most of us do our entire work on either the net platform or the mobile banking platform, right? For the few who do walk in, there's still paperwork.
Are you calling the death of banks, physical branches?
No. Like I said, the primary reason is the trust I encase with someone, because I put my hard-earned money there. Now, unless there's a physical entity, how do I trust you? Where do I go to, right? If for my
it's a bit like my restaurant world. You can be a dark kitchen, but if no one actually sees you cook, there's a bit of a suspicion.
Very true. And then what we do really here at the branches is we have got all our digital tools available. We've trained our branch folks so that the interactions with the consumers are paperless, smooth, and it becomes easier for both from our staff perspective as well as from a consumer perspective.
I see. So digital and social media in that sense are simply enabling the physical, and very much relationship. I mean, you need a relationship with someone you give your money to.
Yeah.
In the end, right? We don't really have enough time, Ashish, to cover all of this, but let me ask with a couple of personal things. Does your own personal social media brand matter to you?
It does.
How many followers have you got on LinkedIn?
On LinkedIn, 1,000.
Pretty good. I think I've got LinkedIn envy. And in a word, before we wrap it up, you crystal ball gazing, do you see certain social media channels, Facebook, any of them, do you see them coming to an end?
Yeah, very much. I think all of us know about Orkut, right? And people moved on to Facebook. As we speak, we've heard that the numbers for Facebook are dwindling, and Insta is becoming the de facto sort of platform to go to nowadays, right? So yes, each of the platforms will come, will go, will evolve. So I do not see any one platform being existing for a very long period of time.
Well, and if Mr. Zuckerberg didn't also own Instagram, I'd be telling him to take your money and put it in HDFC, but I don't think he's tomorrow's hard luck story. Ashish, you've been a fantastic guest. We've only scratched the surface. Thank you for coming on Trailblazers.
Thank you so much. Thank you.